Bold and Beautiful's RJ finally gets his gal, but a major twist could upend absolutely everything. Bold and Beautiful has launched viewers into a hot summer love quadrangle involving the younger set, the likes of which we haven't seen in over a decade. The tangled web of romance, betrayal, and family legacy is spinning at full speed, and just as RJ Forrester finally homes in on his girl, his kissing cousin no less, a familiar but massive twist may be lurking just around the corner, threatening to blow everything to smithereens. Where we left off, a heartbroken Elektra. We left off in our Friday cliffhanger with Will Spencer pleading for Elektra to tell her family to go fish and get back with him. Given that it's been made crystal clear that the Forresters and Spencers don't mix, it's a foregone conclusion that she'll decline the offer and skulk back to the Forrester mansion, where we're positive that RJ will be lying in wait, ready to comfort her. Despite Elektra still harboring feelings for her ex, and let's be honest, she always will, we expect RJ to take full advantage of the situation and start making moves. Indeed, a couples preview confirms that the two will grow closer. Considering they've already shared kisses, not to mention Pam's famous lemon bars, we expect we know where things are headed. RJ has been waiting for his lucky break, and Will and Dylan's night together might just be it. The Dylan factor, a scheme in the making. But let's talk about Dylan, because she's the wild card in this deck. Dylan has always wanted Will, and she's set to finally get her fairy tale ending when they share a steamy night together in the not-too-distant future. The question is whether they'll actually have sex, or she'll simply make him think they did, as Amber Moore famously did with Liam. Dylan is ramping up her pursuit of Will, already imagining a future together with no intention of stepping aside for Elektra. She's determined to lock down her romance and become Mrs. Will Spencer, pushing forward with bold moves that could catch everyone off guard. But here's the thing about Dylan. She comes from a much more normal background than the Forresters and Spencers, as Bullock has herself explained. Dylan was secretly living out of her car while trying to survive in Los Angeles, too stubborn and proud to ask for help because she doesn't want to be a burden to anyone. She's not evil, at least not yet, but she makes questionable decisions, and she's maybe a little looser on the moral high ground unintentionally. The Anarum connection, a dark past emerges. Adding another layer of complexity, we've learned that Dylan's cousin is none other than Remy Price, Christian Weissman, the same Remy who terrorized Elektra with deepfake technology. Sydney Bullock admitted she was not expecting that at all when she learned about the twist, but she's excited to explore this complicated family dynamic. Here's the problem. Remy believes he helped Dylan rebuild her life, he got her the art camp job, and now he feels entitled to ask for something in return. He's pressuring Dylan to help repair his image by putting in a good word for him, essentially wanting her to convince everyone he's actually a good person despite the deepfake scandal. Dylan is stuck in the middle. She knows what Remy did was wrong, but he's family, and unlike everyone at Forrester, she can't just detach emotionally. Katie's suspicion a looming threat. Meanwhile, Katie Logan Spencer's growing suspicions about Dylan are a looming threat. If Dylan's past is exposed, whether it's her homelessness, her connection to Remy, or something even darker, her future with Will could unravel before it truly begins. Katie's maternal instincts are razor sharp, and she's already side-eyeing this new woman in her son's life. The massive twist, a pregnancy story in the making. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter, the massive twist that could upend everything. And this being Bold and Beautiful, you know the families will be up to their eyeballs in it as well. So what's the big twist? Let's just say that the recent tease by Sydney Bullock that her story was headed in the direction of a past plot brought everything into sharp focus. The plot we're guessing is the Amber Moore storyline. The Amber Moore parallel. Amber Moore, played by Adrienne France, was a classic B&B schemer who arrived in Los Angeles as a gold digger from Death Valley. She famously seduced the underage Rick Forrester while supposedly babysitting him, married into the family, and caused chaos wherever she went. One of her most notorious schemes involved getting pregnant and trying to pass off the baby as Liam Spencer's to get at the Spencer fortune, even though the child was actually Marcus Forrester's. How it could play out. If you don't see where we're going with this, let us spell it out. If Dylan turns up pregnant, which we suspect she will if this is a variation on the Amber War tale of yore, she's bound to pass it off as Will's even though it could be RJ's. Think about it. RJ has always wanted Elektra, but fooled around with her best friend Dylan. Although Dylan first put on the brakes during their makeout session, the last we saw, it had turned passionate and they'd fallen on top of each other on the bed. It's safe to say that they may have done the deed. Whether they'll actually have sex or she'll simply make him think they did, as Amber Moore famously did with Liam, remains to be seen. It's a major, messy twist that could play out any number of ways, but going by history will cause all manner of misery before the truth is revealed. Will the baby be a Forrester or a Spencer? What does this mean for the families? This potential pregnancy storyline would be a powder keg for both the Forresters and Spencers. If Dylan claims the baby is Will's, she secures her place in the Spencer family. Bill's grandson would be a powerful bargaining chip. But if the truth comes out that the baby could be RJ's, then the child would be a Forrester heir and everything changes. The Forresters and Spencers have been at war for years, and a baby caught in the middle would only intensify the rivalry. Not to mention, if Elektra eventually discovers the truth, she'll feel betrayed by both RJ and Dylan. Again. Deacon and Taylor, a new level. Meanwhile, away from the younger set's drama, Deacon Shape is preparing to take his relationship with Taylor Hayes to the next level. With Steffi and Finn out of town, Deacon sees the perfect opportunity to solidify their bond. Could this be a proposal? A request to move in together? The timing is interesting as it comes at the same time Sheila, Taylor's old nemesis and Deacon's Bex, is determined to prove her worth. What's next? Will's discovery. As we look ahead, there's also the question of Will finding out the truth. Someone, Katie perhaps, or White, could do some digging and uncover Dylan's past. What if someone contacts Remy and discovers the full extent of his history with Elektra? What if Dylan's secret about living out of her car comes out and makes her look like a sympathetic figure rather than a villain? The show is setting up a complex web of secrets, lies, and betrayals, and the young cast is at the center of it all. As Sydney Bullock herself said, "We've got this messy little foursome going on, so it's always a fun surprise to see what's coming up." Bold and Beautiful airs weekdays on CBS. Check local listings. What do you think about the potential pregnancy twist? Will Dylan follow in the footsteps of Amber Moore and try to pass off RJ's baby as Will's? Or is there another surprise waiting for us? Share your theories in the comments below.